like I said, Tonni, this is really important to me, and this is something I really push to have on this show, because I feel like this is a platform, Fox Soul, that we can give an opportunity for people like yourself to talk and tell us the dangers of sex trafficking and how you got involved and how people can avoid being a victim. You got this firsthand knowledge. Tell us about your story. How did it begin?
Going to the Freaknik. Down, wasn't supposed to be there.
For people that don't know, Freaknik was this place in Atlanta that, you know, like an event in Atlanta back in the
big
90s.
Party.
Big
Yeah.
party.
It was a college party?
It was
a college party.
Yeah, down there, and actually supposed to have been at my friend's house.
How old were you?
For a sleepover. You know, 15.
15, okay.
15, 16, yeah.
Okay.
And just got in the wrong hands, you know. He came up to me and we was down there. I was dancing on the cars and, you know, singing. And how he presented himself to me was he was a producer and he could get me either a record deal or help me become an actress.
Wow.
So, and it went from there. So me and him connect. We stayed in contact once I left Atlanta. You know, we talked a lot, all the time. Wherever he was at, Black Biker Week, down in Myrtle Beach, anywhere.
Right.
He was there, he would call, send me a ticket to come wherever he was at, either whether it be train, Greyhound bus, and I went.
So he was an adult, obviously.
Yes.
You're 15 years old. And how are you keeping this away from your parents? How are you not allowing your parents to know that this is happening? Because you're going out of town at 15.
No. You know what? I said I was like 16 and 17.
But still, you're young.
I'm
You're
young.
underage.
Yeah, I'm underage.
Right.
I had the type of parents where I would just sneak away, you know. I was a single, my mom was a single mom. My dad wasn't there. So it was like, I did what I needed to do to get away. Tell my mom I'm at my friend's house. Her mom, she tell her mom she's at my house, and that's just how it went. I mean, where I come from a little town, small town, so everybody knows everybody. And it was just, whenever you could get away, you just did it. You just did it.
Do you feel like during this time, in the beginning, he was gaining your trust?
Oh yeah, the honeymoon was very good. It's called the honeymoon stage. You know, and with the honeymoon stage, they woo you, give you anything you want, take you places, everything.
Yeah. And that's what
everything,
he did.
and that's what he did. And it was to the point where it didn't bother me and it didn't scare me, because at the end of the day, I was able to come back home. You know, I would just go on the weekend, come back home, be home my last year of high school. So we was fine with it.
Well, Tonni, this sounds like really what you're describing right now sounds like you were just in an inappropriate relationship. How was this?
At the beginning.
Sex trafficking. Okay, so how did it develop? How did it become, you know, did you start stripping? What was it? Okay.
Yes. It started to be the sex trafficking part after I got to Charlotte, Bettisford Road, Johnson C. Smith. And I went there. He told me to come up, so I came up, visited him, went to this party. So we went back to the hotel, and the girl that was in the hotel, I was like, what you doing in my room? What are you doing in here? Come to find out, she was the bottom bitch.
Explain for the people that,
tell us what
she's like the head woman in charge. Usually that's his main girl. Whatever she say, whatever he say, she usually reinforce. When she wants you on the block, you going on the block.
This the pimp's right-hand man, a woman.
Right woman.
Yeah, right.
So she come in and, you know, me and her get into it. I'm like, yo, what's going on? So he comes to the room and I see her kissing on him, so I pushed her and I'm like, what's this? I'm thinking that this is...
Because you're thinking he's your boyfriend.
Yeah, so you didn't know this was what he did.
No, did not know that's what he did. By the end of the night, I had got beat up.
By?
Him and her.
Okay.
I was raped, and I couldn't go back home.
You couldn't go back home?
No.
How would they force you? They imprison you? They drugged you.
Me.
Okay. And then what happened after that? So they started?
After that, it was like we was just going from state to state.
Okay.
And I was just sleeping with men from state to state, not wanting to, but I had to. It was more of a survival. If you don't.
They threatened your life?
Yeah, because I had, you remember, I mean, he was considered my boyfriend, somebody that I was really in love with. So I took him home to meet my family. I took him to my little town. My friends knew him, and...
Hold on a second. I'm like, you're 16, 17 years old. You're still underage. This is a grown man.
I didn't know he was a grown man.
He didn't look grown?
No, he
Nobody
did not.
asked questions? Nobody... Because we hear a lot about sex trafficking victims come from a certain background. You know, not always, but a lot of them do, because, you know, sometimes the parents might not care, in a sense,
True.
or allow the kids to do the things that, you know, you were allowed to do.
I mean, my mom...
Abused some?
My mom cared. I mean, my family cared. I came from a caring family, a disciplined, you know, family. But he was introduced as just my friend. And he did not look as if he was 25 years old.
But they didn't ask any questions. They didn't ask you...
No.
Wow. Okay.
I come from a town where you don't teach stranger danger.
Yeah.
If you know anything about the South, you'll know, and especially a town that has one red light, probably no more than 50 stop signs, everybody know everybody.
Okay.
So you don't teach your kids stranger danger.
All right, so now all of a sudden he's got you doing these sexual acts with these men, right? He's for money or whatever, and he's drugging you.
Yes.
And you're not around any police. You don't feel like you can run. Are you afraid to run, or you feel like there's not an opportunity for you to run?
A little bit of both, because the encounter that I had down in Florida, I was in Miami, Florida, and we had went to this club, and I got away. I actually got a chance to, thought I was gonna get away. I get outside and I go up to these cops and I'm like, yo, I need your help. I need you to help me. I've been taken against my will, and I'm down here in Florida and I'm from South Carolina. And he came up behind me and he said to the cop, oh, she just drunk, she just high, we about to take her home, Mr. Officer, we about to take her home. And the cop hauled off and said, yeah, you better take her little pretty brown ass home before I take her home.
Wow.
Really?
So that kind of, you know,
Made you feel a way about
yeah, it
your
made me
next
feel
day.
a whole way, to the point where it was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm here, I'm stuck,
You're stuck.
can't go nowhere.
Do you feel like even if you had the opportunity to get in contact with your mother or any family member or friend and let them know what was going on, that they would have come to aid you?
I mean, I stayed, you know, in contact with my friends.
How did you stay in contact with your friends?
Nokia, remember the little sidekick?
Yeah, I remember the
He bought
sidekick.
me that, you know.
And would let you text or communicate through
Yeah,
that?
because for a minute before he kept me, I was able to go back and forth home.
Okay.
So every chance I got,
Okay.
I stayed in contact with my friends.
So
And what did your mom think you were?
in school, at University of Pittsburgh.
So are you telling her that this is what you're doing and you're not, okay, he's telling her this?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were in contact using your Nokia with your friends, you weren't sending any kind of messages and basically saying you were in danger?
No,
Why not?
because it was, I felt more, it's crazy to say it, but I felt more safe being with him than I did going home, just because of what I went through as a kid.
What did you go through?
Molestation,
Okay.
neglect. Anything that, it was, everything that I was missing at home, he was giving to me
Attention.
in the street.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go back home. And during the beginning, he was giving me a little bit of money.
Okay.
Back at home, I wasn't getting nothing.
What was the abuse like?
It wasn't that much abuse with him, because I basically did everything he wanted. I was the next rose in line to be the bottom bitch. So
Okay.
It got abusive whenever Super Bowl come around. It got abusive when Freaknik came around. It
Now,
got
what's the
abusive.
connection between those events? Why
It's
would
shopping
Big
season,
yeah.
because
A lot of people call it
usually
that.
Super Bowl, if he bet, say he bet against you and your team lose, that's how many men I had to sleep with. And if I got tired, I got beat. So it taught me to really dig deep, and it taught me that sometimes the issue at home might be worth going through
Yeah.
than going in the street and not knowing who you meet.
You were going through a trauma, a syndrome. I can't think of the name of the syndrome where you actually love your captor. in some sense.
yeah.
You were in love with the person who basically kidnapped you and forced you into this lifestyle and whatnot. it forced you so much, and you became, like you said, you wanted to become the bottom bitch. You wanted to become that person. You wanted to work your way up through the ranks. You saw other girls coming in, and actually you helped recruit other girls.
That was that wasn't so much as with me in the lifestyle. My recruiting came like towards the end because I just had that feeling I was going to leave. I was trying to leave. So with my mind frame, and yes, it was fucked up, but I was looking out for self.
Yeah.
My recruiting came in, I needed to find somebody to take my place to go through this pain and hurt because I'm about to be out.
So what changed your mind from that time of like you're saying you want to be the bottom bitch, you want to be in that lifestyle, you don't want to go back home because of what was facing you at home, to where you are talking about right now because you don't want to go through this? What happened? Because we missed something there.
Yeah. Life happened. I was in Pittsburgh, and these two young ladies changed my whole aspect. I looked at it as I had the same opportunity as they had to go to school, and he wanted me to take them two young ladies, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Why not? Why not these two? Okay.
Because I started to have feeling, and everything was numb. It was so numb to me when I first got in it, because I'm like, I'm home, I'm being molested.
Did you feel ashamed? Did shame?
No, I didn't feel ashamed. I felt like if I'm giving it to this person who's molesting me for free, why not get paid for it?
Yeah. Do you feel like that was a part of the mental hold that he had on you? Because I feel like the acts come after the mental manipulation. He had your mind, so it was nothing for your body.
But my mind was already gone.
Yeah.
You know, being molested as a kid, and it's continuing to happen. I was more of, I needed that sensation and that feeling that I had as a kid of being molested. And I needed that. So it was like, fuck it. If I can't continue it, and I know it's wrong now, but as a kid, you being molested and whatever, you don't know that this is wrong. And when it transfer over to being an adult, it really fucks your head up.
Did he have to force you to recruit? Or did you know that that was just something that was next in line?
I actually brought it up to him because, you know, like I said, I come from a good family and church-going family. And my stomping grounds for recruitment was churches.
Oh, wow.
Wow, churches.
Oh, yeah. That was my place of interest.
How would you approach somebody?
How would you approach?
How would you approach somebody at church?
You just go home, you go to church every Sunday, do your homework on that person, that one person. You see her or him going up to the altar Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. You know he's going for something. He's praying for something. And usually I had my times where I would do my recruiting. It's called shopping season. So I would go during Christmas, during Thanksgiving.
And what would you look
Halloween.
for? Because we're trying to teach here.
Yeah.
What would you look for specifically?
The week.
The week. How would you be able to
know? Yeah.
Just conversation, having conversation with them. Come up to him, yo, or her, yo, you good? What you I see you going up to the altar a lot. Just making small talk. She's going to tell me eventually what she want, what she praying for. Like I say, the shopping seasons, Easter time, you're either praying for that money for your spring break, that prom dress. You want something. Your mom need help with the bills, something. So I'm going to present it to you.
So you provided that thing that they were praying for.
But once you try to leave, you owe me.
Here's the thing, because we got to break this down, because I was reading that sex trafficking is when someone uses force, fraud, or coercion to cause a commercial sex act with an adult, and a minor causes a minor to commit a commercial sex act. How is this different from, because a lot of people think this and say, well, she was just a prostitute. How is being a prostitute different from being a victim of sex trafficking?
Prostitution and sex trafficking is two totally different things.
How is it? Break that down for us.
Prostitution, I can sleep with you today or tomorrow. You can give me money or a gift, car, house. You can be my sponsor, quote unquote. You can give me an allowance, quote unquote. I don't have to see you ever again, but you can continue to give it to me even though we're not having sex. Sex trafficking, you're going to do it. You ain't getting paid for it. More than likely, you're going to be going from state to state, town to town. You're going to be in a stable. You're going to be on track.
You're being held against your will.
You're held against your will.
Right. It's pretty much in prison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.